Okay, welcome everyone. I'm so happy to be here with one of my most favorite people in the world, Kristi Salerno. Welcome,
Oh,
Kristi.
thank you. So happy to be here. So
Yeah, and
excited.
thank you so much for being part of our 5-day warm-up challenge, the chakra warm-up challenge.
Right.
Super excited to share your beautiful experience with this work with our audience. And I thought we would start today with just because I don't even know if I know all of these details about how you first got introduced to transpersonal energy healing and this work. I know how I met you, but I'm not sure I
Mhm.
know really how it all got started. So if we could start there,
Of
please let us know.
course. Of course. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story, at least I think so. I was on my own healing journey, first of all, for quite a few years before I found transpersonal energy healing. I just, not to go into too much detail with that, but basically I was dealing with a uterine thyroid working. I had, I was emotional, some kind of component that to this physical manifestation that was happening. And I just had that sort of intuitive nudge about it. So it sent me on this journey to really look at what was going on with me, what my habits of thinking, my patterns in my life. And truly one day I was doing laundry, not thinking about anything, just probably singing a song, and the words energy healing literally dropped in my head. And I just walked over to my computer and I Googled, like, what is energy healing? I had no idea. I had no idea what it was. Googled it, and Lionheart was the first school that this school popped up. And I read about it, and this school was 15 minutes from my house. And I just grabbed my credit card and I signed up for it. And that was it. So I found myself sort of in this school learning this stuff. And when I was there, when I first got there, I remember being like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't know what is this? But it ended up just being this beautiful journey. It took me on such a beautiful healing journey. Yeah, so that's how
Mm,
I found it.
wow. And
Yeah.
we actually met because I
Mhm.
attended Lionheart as well.
Yeah.
And so we got to spend quite a bit of time over numerous long weekends
Yes.
training in this work with Laura, the founder of this methodology.
Mhm.
So I always tell my students how beautiful the relationships are
Yeah.
that you create when you're on this personal healing journey,
Yeah.
and how like I feel like lifelong close friends that I have now because of going through that together.
Yes. I mean, I remember we were in that small group together, and we would
Yeah.
process, you know, different whatever people were going through. And it was so, when you're in that vulnerable, tender place of sharing, and you're either holding the space for that person or you're the one going through the healing, practice. Yeah, there's a bond that's created that is truly sort of transcends everything. Like whenever I see you, it's like, oh, we're back where we were in that circle, and I feel that way about, so many people that I got to do this work with, because you really get to see people at their core of who they are, and that
Mm.
commonality that we all have, that we all share, deep within, all of our, so much of our trauma and experience, though it looks different or there's a different story, it's all kind of comes down to the same, um you know it comes to the same place of, like, just learning how to get back to, loving who we are and accepting all parts of ourselves. And yeah, so it's really a magical experience to go through this work.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
So many of us that do the work now professionally really came to it because of our need to heal ourselves. And that's one of the things that Laura and I have as the top of our mission is
Mhm.
to help us heal ourselves, help heal ourselves so that we can facilitate the healing of others. So as we learn this work so that we can help others heal,
Yeah.
we go through this very deep transformation along the way and build this incredible community and connection and bond with
Yeah.
the other peoples that for me so far has been lifelong friendships and really deep
Yeah.
connection. And healing really happens in relationship.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what I love about this work and this organization that I am currently trying my best to manage and run
Doing an
now without
amazing job.
Laura, no, without my
Yeah.
partner,
Yeah.
is that, that we can create a safe space. And within that safe space, we have found our tribe, right? These like-minded people that are also on the same journey,
Mm.
and not only to help others heal, but running a business
Yes.
is a thing that is challenging. And so we have all like really been so supportive of each other, and not only our own healing process, but as we try to help other people with the work and manage and run a business as we do that. It's been so amazing to have you and other people
Mm.
that I know from my training to
Yeah.
collaborate with, right? That community has been just
I
so important in my
know.
life.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I feel like I like, you've been there for me when I'm in tears and I'm like, I don't know what to do or how to do this. And like I can call you and you're just so beautifully supportive. And it's beautiful to see too how many people's businesses have flourished or have created businesses. I mean, so many
Yeah.
people are doing this work now in their own beautiful, unique way. And that's what I love too. Like they've found their niche in it, and like who
Yeah.
they really feel drawn to help, and who the people that are attracted to them. And it's so unique. And it's so based on like, oh, of course that's what you're doing now. I have a friend who she's an actress and she did this work to heal herself, but now she helps actors and she has these circles of actors that she's helping. And then someone else who is much like, she's a very just like super tough, strong woman, like motorcycle riding, just badass. And the people that she attracts, I mean, I refer people to her who I'm like, this is who you need to see,
That's-
it's just perfect. It's really beautiful to see what people create from their personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and how this work fits in so many different niches, like you said,
Yes.
like there I have people in that have graduated from our program that do financial planning, and people
Yes.
that work with kids, and people that work with elderly
Yeah.
clients, and people
Yeah.
that work in health, and people that work
Yes.
in like business coaching. I mean, it's like so amazing how this work can be a standalone thing that you can
Yeah.
use as a practice, but it can also be incorporated into pretty much any arena, and it will give you skills that make you so much more confident in
Yeah.
helping people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to tell me a little bit about what you do. Tell us a little bit more about your niche and how you have found your way in this work.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, first of all, I have to say, when I did this work, I went through the program. I even said out loud, "Oh, I'm not gonna have a practice. That's not what I'm here for." And as often goes in my life, the things that I'm like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that," are the things I end up doing. So it just kind of started happening organically. I was actually an actor myself, and I was teaching at the time movement for actors. So I was in the world of bodies and working with the body. And so this just was so seamless with the work that I was already doing. And it actually gave me a language for what I noticed was happening in my movement classes, because I just knew like, wow, this is really magical. When people start getting into their bodies and moving their bodies, emotions start moving. They're happier, they're grounded. All this stuff was happening, but I had no language for it. I didn't know what was going on. So when I started doing transpersonal energy healing, I was like, oh, I had so many aha moments where I was like, oh, this is what I was seeing. I just didn't know what was happening, or the energetics of what was happening. So in a way, I was kind of doing the work before I knew I was doing the work. So those things started coming together, like my movement classes along with the language of this work. And then sort of organically, certain students would ask me, oh, hey, do you do one-on-one sessions? And I just kind of was like, sure, I can try that. And then I ended up, slowly over time building a one-on-one client roster, I guess, through referrals. And now that's pretty much exclusively what I do. I still teach movement classes, but those are more like an online library I refer people to. And then I work one-on-one and online, and I really love what I'm able to support people in that one-on-one container.
Mm.
It's just allows me so much more, personal connection, and and I just really love, what I've kind of, I guess, if I had a niche, it would probably be, you know, young, entrepreneur types, a lot of like, 20 something, 30 something, specific, a lot of women actually I tend to work with, and um, who are pretty high functioning, but are, wanting more or finding themselves stuck in patterns that aren't serving them anymore, and want to be able to open up to intimacy and relationships, want to be able to reach different levels of their own success, and I love it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So funny how you didn't expect that you would be doing like the one-on-one and have like this business where you're doing one-on-one counseling and support. That's
Yeah.
fun to see how it's progressed since I've known you from way
Yeah.
back in the day when we first started our training.
I know. Yeah. No one's more surprised than me. I'm like, this, how did this happen? But I love it.
Yeah, and you made a business out of it.
Yeah. And the thing that, that I always go back to, honestly, is because this work was so impactful for me, it truly changed my life. Um, I was this very sort of driven, but hard on myself, rigid person for so much of my life, and I was really detached from my own heart. And I feel like this work like gave me my heart back. It gave me myself,
Mm.
and gave me so much more grace and compassion and softness for myself. And that's what I feel I get to offer and give and guide other people towards, because so
Mhm.
often, especially in those younger years of our lives, like 20s and 30s, we're trying to figure out who we are and what we're doing. And there's so much pressure we put on ourselves, or that we don't even know we're putting on ourselves, that makes life so much harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so I just love to, try to offer what I was given through this work to other people who need it. And that's
Mm.
what fulfills me so much about
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And I love hearing how, yeah, you came for self-healing and you left helping other people heal. And that is not uncommon with
Yeah.
our students, right?
I
Go, yeah,
know.
I'm on a self-healing path. And then they end up realizing, oh, I can really make a difference in the world. I can really help other people get what I've gotten out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
interesting. That's where I feel like that's the feedback I've gotten from clients is, and I think that's what a lot of people find is, I want what you have. And that's such a beautiful, it's just such a pure and beautiful thing to then be able to be like, oh yeah, I do have this. And I'm so happy to get to help you have it, because I want you to have that too, and you
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, I thank the Lord every day that I have these skills to get through
Yeah.
these things that I think before would have been really hard for me to get through. And now it's like I can be okay despite what is happening in the world. Despite what my experience is, I am able to find a place internally where I am always okay.
Mm, yeah, that's priceless.
Yeah. I had a client not too long ago this week, and she said, no one ever said that to me before, that you can be
Mm,
okay right now despite
mm,
that you're not healed yet, despite that you still have
mm.
physical symptoms, despite I don't have what I want to have. And I was like, wow, that is so sad to me that no one has ever, all her years of therapy, no one ever
Uh,
told her that it's possible to be okay right now.
oof.
And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that is what this work does.
Yes.
Work can help you be okay as you work towards what you want, instead of I will be happy when I'm fixed, when I'm healed, when I have
Right.
more money, when I have the job, when I have the relationship. And what a waste of life
I
to
know.
be I will be happy when
Oh yeah.
versus despite my life not being what I want it to be, I can find a place inside of myself that is okay and peaceful
Yes.
and
Right
content
now.
right now.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That was my, and then, I mean, that was my whole mantra, I think, subconsciously back then, is like, oh, but I just have to do this one more thing. And if I just fix this one thing, and if I just get to this goal, and, yeah.
Yep, spinning
Yeah.
your wheels, always looking for the next thing.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but now we can settle into our essential self and be curious and enjoy where we're at right now,
Yeah.
even if it's not where we want to be. We don't give up on what we want to move
Of
towards,
course. Of
but it's
course.
so much more fun along the way if we can
Yes.
be really present and grounded in our essential self. And doing that through the
Yeah.
body has been the key for me. But learning how
Yeah.
to really accept and work with my energy charge and my
Yes.
nervous system, like really not rejecting my body, but working with my body
Yes.
to learn how to be okay. And
Yeah.
that's why I became a somatic trauma therapist, is
Yeah.
because my pattern is check out, leave, not be grounded, not be in my body. And what
Mm-hmm.
I have found is you can't be in your power if you're not in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So the somatic work has made all the
Uh,
difference for me, really,
yes.
truly. And then,
And
yeah, hence the name of our program, shifting from transpersonal energy to somagetics, which is that combination of the somatic, which is body based, and the energetics that we got from Laura and the transpersonal energy healing. So really combining that somatic piece with the energy piece has been so magical for me. So I'm really
uh,
excited to have
yes.
you be part of the process still, Kristi.
Yes,
Like, we
of
did our training
course.
together and we're
I
still
know.
supporting each other in our journey. And I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you're part of what we're doing moving forward now with Laura on the other side. We are
Yes.
we
Yes.
are we are bringing her spirit into this work every day still. So thank you so much
Absolutely.
for taking the time to share more about what you do. We're going to
Yes.
post your information here in the link below the video, so anybody that wants to learn more about Kristi can find her easily.
Thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I so
Thanks.
appreciate it. Love being a part of this community too. So
Yeah,
excited about all the new things coming.
thank you for being part.
My
Mwah.
pleasure.
See you later.
Mwah. Okay.
Bye-bye.